when you are surrounded by accomplished women like these, it's difficult to even remember your questions. Currently, I am in that situation. I would request each of them to introduce themselves a bit, tell us something about themselves which is not there on their LinkedIn profile, which is not there on their CV. The audience would love to know that, especially I can see a lot of students in this room, a lot of young entrepreneurs in this room. They'll feel motivated and they'll feel energized by it. I would request Kalpana to start.
A very good afternoon to everyone, and thank you, Dr. Sridevi, for your warm welcome. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Yes? All right. Thank you so much. So it's an honor and a privilege to be here, and we decided before we all got onto the stage here that we're going to make this very energetic, and we really want all of you all before your lunch to expend some energy with us. So how I would introduce myself is, I see a lot of youngsters here, and what I'm going to tell you all is that I started my entrepreneurial journey when I was 19. Okay, so and so there's so many stories, and a serious amount of entrepreneurship I've done in the last 25 years, and of which 22 years, since today's topic is about peer networks. I've been part of an organization called Confederation of Women Entrepreneurs, wherein we've been working on and off on a lot of projects. And today I'm here as taking care of Telangana chapter. So yes, like I told her, you'll have to stop us. So with that, I'll hand it over to my other guests here. And thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. So thank you, Devi Reddy Garu, for the very kind introduction, and thank you, TiE, for having me on this panel today. It's a wonderful panel. I'm really looking forward to a lot of conversations. Something that I think that's not on my LinkedIn profile is I've been brought back to India. I've been pulled back to India, in fact. But I'm so happy today. It's all worth it. It's all making the journey so wonderful and so challenging as well at the same time, which I'm enjoying. My dad gave me 1 year time. I was a commissioner of National Health Services in the UK. And he came and gave me 1 year time to come back to India and start up hospitals in India. It was a shock to me, although it was my childhood dream to start and run hospitals. After doing my hospital management in the UK, this is what he gave me an ultimatum. So I had to come back and then just run and start the hospitals. But my main aim as a biomedical engineer was always to make healthcare accessible, affordable, and acceptable. So this is where I've decided we'll build a technology platform that can connect every part of the ecosystem, right from primary and preventive to palliative care. So that's where we started, and we are on. Thank you very much.
Sorry, this is not working, so I'm grabbing. Hi, good afternoon. Sridevi, like you said, we have the toughest spot between lunch and the audience paying attention to us. So hi, I'm Sita. I'm the CEO of WeHub. WeHub is India's first state government-led organization that's been established to support women entrepreneurs. That's what my LinkedIn profile says. What does one thing that my LinkedIn profile doesn't say? Since we are talking so much about entrepreneurship, one of the things that happens when you are an entrepreneur is stress becomes your best friend. So either it pulls you down or it pushes you up, right? So the one thing that doesn't say, is not said on my LinkedIn profile is that when I am extremely stressed, I build furniture. So I like carpentry a lot, right? So it's not said on my LinkedIn profile. Thanks.
Well, now let's dive into peer networks. How important is peer networks to women entrepreneurs. I know this is a women entrepreneur topic, but I personally believe that peer networks are important to entrepreneurs. Whether it is men or women, we all need peer networks to grow. Peer network. I remember a great man said, it takes a whole village to raise a child. In the same way, it takes lot of entities directly or indirectly to grow a startup from a startup stage to become a big unit, big business. So I would like to prick your brain on what are your thoughts on this, and if possible, an example where a peer network helped you in your career as well. We'll start with Kalpana again.
So that question is actually quite close to my heart because, like I said a while ago, even though peer networks are a powerful place for professional connections, it's also a place where it's a go-to place for all sorts of, everything else. For instance, I would say, in my experience, so when I started my entrepreneurial journey 25 years ago, and I thought I knew everything, and I was very smart, and I had come up with a with a a business which was one of its kind, and so on and so forth. But then, of course, I was struggling a lot with marketing. I was struggling with so many things, and that's when I came across somebody dragged me and said, "Okay, come on, be part of this network." And that's when I joined Kobe. I also joined Elite. I joined a couple of others. And what I found is there are two things that happen in peer networks. One is it's the perfect go-to place when you want to know more about business, want to know more about if you have already started whatever problems you're having, that's the place that you go and get your solutions from all our wide networks and all that. The second more important is it's also a safe space. Now, I've been a woman, I've been in the women entrepreneurial ecosystem only, so I will talk only from that point of view. So it's also a place which is a safe space for us women, wherein you can really get together and talk about what are the real issues happening at work front, home front, and so many other, the things that you don't have anywhere else to go. These are the places that you can actually make friends for life, and that's what happened to me, and that's why I stuck to that network for 22 years, and here I am today with you all. So, more to come, yeah.
I think I'll start with a very short story. There were two women who met at a networking event, and they kept on meeting each other, brainstorming, uplifting each other, a lot of talks going on. One had a very brilliant idea, and the second one had a lot of connects and networking. So until one fine day, they decided, after a lot of brainstorming, they decided to actually come together and form a partnership. So they built a very good wellness brand which employed more than 500 employees, and over a period they had about more than 100,000 subscriptions, etc. So when someone asks them, what is your secret to actually get this across? They said, we didn't compete, but we completed each other. So that's the power of peer network, guys. That's where you actually want to collaborate, network, and connect. So we should not be underestimating the power of peer networks. We didn't compete, but we wanted to complete is what our takeaway should be. So there are a lot of, I see a lot of students in here. How many of you actually have a brilliant idea and want to actually take it forward, but do not know how to do it, or in some way are stuck in some form? How many? Can I see some hand raises?
Yeah, the first step is to raise your hand, yes.
Great. So there are quite a few in the room. So guys, go there, network, collaborate, and get it together. Here, I want to give one example of ozone hospitals where we actually did this in services industry. So during the very recent World Cardiology Day, we had a do not miss a beat theme, and our heartbeat was our theme. And we actually released the heart attack kit. And we also said we'll put up defibrillators in the community. And we also wanted to train every community, every member on CPR. CPR is something that I think every family household should know how to do over 12 years. So this is what we wanted to build. And how do we do this? We didn't want to train people on CPR. Okay, that's our emergency physicians that is going to do it. So we have our emergency physician within the hospital. But what about the rest? What about the defibrillators? What about the medication? What about the pharmacy companies that we have collaborated with? So every one of us collaborated together, and all of them together made it possible for us to be able to bring this into the community and make it a healthy and better community in terms of their health. So this is one example I would like to share. I have more, but I'll leave it for Sita to share more. Thank you.
Thank you. So I think leadership and peer networks go in hand. Entrepreneurship and peer networks go hand in hand. You know, we're all described with our titles, CEO, head of so-and-so, and all of that. So wherever you are, your position is sustained because of the solid support system that you have. And especially for women, because you don't network as much, for you, your support system and peer network does matter. We are all nodding because we are women and we know, but there'll be some people who'll say, no, but you network just as much. No. But for that, we'll need a separate summit and separate panel where all of us will speak to you again. But peer networks are important because you have like-minded individuals. You don't feel alone in your journey, and you don't feel judged, and you feel supported. And a lot of the time, that's what you need. You don't need solutions, but sometimes you need to feel just supported through a phase or an idea or whatever it is. And your peer network, I'm talking about peers. Kavi is my peer, Miraj is my peer. My peer has disappeared. He was here a second ago. But we all work in tandem. In fact, if we don't, because also the Telangana innovation ecosystem is quite unique. If we start doing the same things, then we're sort of being redundant and we're not paying attention to what our mandate is. So we also support each other as peers, and that trickles down to people who work with us. And I've always felt most supported by my peers. They were my mentors, even people younger than me, people that I work with on a daily basis. That's all my peer network. So it's not because somebody is like a couple of years older than, you know, only they have to mentor me. It's a lot of times I'm so inspired by so many young entrepreneurs that I meet. So I'd say, please give yourself time to build that support system. And don't be stuck to an idea that you should have somebody in a leadership position to mentor you or support you. No, we can all support each other. So yes, since I see a lot of students, that's where I want to stop at. Thanks.
Can I know how many TiE charter member or associate members are there in this group, in this room, please? Can I have a show of hands, please? Well, quite a few. Yeah, I can see. Let me tell you something. This is my peer network. TiE has always been my peer network, and whatever I am today, for the last 10 years of my journey, I owe everything to my TiE peer network. Thank you so much, TiE. What I'm trying to tell is, and trust me, it's not somebody, it's it's a sisterhood, it's a brotherhood, it's a camaraderie. So you need to build those foundations early in life. I can see a lot of students, I can see a lot of startups. Startups sometimes think that if somebody is from electronic industry, let me have a peer network only from that industry. Let me mingle with only those people. No, a goodwill ambassador can be from any part of the world, from any sector. Identify good people who don't judge you. Identify good people who will empower you with a connection or something else, with knowledge, with connection to a funder or an investor. They come in different forms and shapes, trust me. Peer network is not just one single word. I still remember, I used to be with TiE 10 years ago. 16, 17 years ago, I was in another organization. I still have 2-3 people in that organization who are still my peers, who are still my well-wishers. This is how you build your networks. Your success is a sum total of all the goodwill of your peers. Hope I'm able to drive a point to the youngsters here. Well, coming back to...
I'd like to add one point because there are
Yes.
so many youngsters in the room.
Please.
Also, the number of LinkedIn contacts you have does not mean net worth or network. Let me be very clear. Please don't
Get carried away.
Yeah, it's not. The number of LinkedIn contacts you have is not what it is. It's people who support you, support your vision, and are aligned with your goals. While you can all network and we can all be in different places, find those anchors. You know, the broader room will always be available, but don't just rely on populating your phone book in LinkedIn. Thanks.
Yeah. And don't get carried away with the number of likes you get in any of the social media handles. They don't mean anything. How many of you agree with this? Wow. I'm thankful that the future of my country is in safe hands.
We have an enlightened group here.
Yeah, enlightened group. Dipti, I would want to touch upon a very sensitive topic. I've studied in Oxford myself. You have studied in UK. You have worked in UK. I would like to understand the different work ethics, or I would say work culture in both the countries, or what were your learnings from each of the work cultures? What were your observations and the learnings? Hope they're not very sensitive or you don't want to share them. Something which you can share, we would love to hear.
Sure, thank you. You put me on the spot. Thank you, Sridevi Garu. Very good question, but very challenging to answer as well. Being in the UK, of course, there are many I'll first talk about women, then I'll talk a bit about generic, but there are many women entrepreneurship networks. There's British Association of Women Entrepreneurs. There's a lot of women entrepreneurs network, etc. But I see one startling difference for our entrepreneurs in India and in the UK. Compliance. Compliance is very key. Compliance to start a company, compliance to get all your registered aspects, bank accounts, VAT number, GST number, whatever you call. So all of these are done in a span of seconds in the UK. You can do it on your own. But here, sometimes when we know whom to go, it still takes time. But there are so many that do not know where to go, how to do it, whom to approach. So this is one startling difference that I see even in, very early entrepreneurship journey. So that's one thing. The second thing, coming to women specifically, how many of women who want to, generally, how many of the women here are supported by their parents, with the kids or with any other chores in our lifetime, in our daily chores, by the parents? Everyone, anybody. So I see quite a few, right? That's one other difference. Guys, in the United Kingdom, do it yourself. DIY. So that's one thing all of us have to take advantage in India. And we are getting the support not just from our parents, but from our extended family like TiE. So please take advantage of that, and that's what is our way forward in India to start entrepreneurship. And the third thing, the basic compliance. In the UK, we have stability, structure, transparency, and trust. But in India, such a diverse population, such a diverse talent. I mean, guys, we have, I think sector specific is very much in the UK, but in India, start any sector. You have a mentor, you have a support system, you have everything here. So I see many of my previous nurses or doctors that are in the UK and are planning to come back to India or are planning to start up a venture. I said, this is the ground, guys. This is the ground for India to come back and start up any of your ventures. So you have enough support here, unmatched creativity, unmatched innovation. So please, this is the place, and this is the main difference I would see, Sridevi Garu.
Well, Sita, now thank you, Deepti. That was eye-opening for me as well. Sita, I would like to ask a question. How is entrepreneurship and peer support, or you can say peer networks, different in rural areas versus urban areas in India? Because you are working quite a bit in rural areas as well. So I would like you to touch upon that.
Thank you.
With an example, if possible.
Sure. So what happens is, I mean, WeHub is an institution that works with women founders. Our mandate is women, trans women, and women with disabilities. And how we do that is we have supported programs, whether you're at an idea validation stage to raising capital. We have structured programs through which we support you. That's for founders like you and I, who've had the privilege of an education and have access to support systems. Now, in the rural areas, along with another government department called Society for Elimination of Rural Poverty, we reach out to about 7.5 million women, that is 75 lakh women. They're organized into self-help groups. Now, alluding to the question that you asked me, Sridevi, self-help groups was built on the concept of peer mentoring. So the thing is, if you have a cluster together that's working with a common goal to build a product or a service, the likelihood of that cluster surviving together to make that to make the goods or services is larger than one single person getting access to help, right? So self-help groups are a huge success across India in general. Just to give you one example, we held an agri cohort, out of which we didn't know when we were doing the agri cohort, out of which 10 women who had come from about 3 different districts. This was a cohort of 250. And 10 people had come from one specific district. And we realized by the end of it, they were all wives of farmers who had died by suicide. Right? So then they realized that this is a great opportunity. They were assigned a food processing unit. And the following week, in about a span of 3 days, we started getting, through the district administration, through the district collectors, requests from other people's families who've been affected by this tragedy or another. We were like, how did it travel so fast? Because usually we otherwise go to rural areas and do boot camps, and that's when we get these people, right? They formed a WhatsApp network to quickly tell people that this is happening. So if you've had any kind of, tragedy that you're dealing with and you've had some problem, please reach out to WeHub. And they're putting women in these clusters, and they're ensuring that you are assigned under a sector and you're given, something to work on. So without alluding into the technical details of it, imagine somebody with no education, just a smartphone, and understands that 200 kilometers away from their village, they can reach out to other people who probably need help. But that's an example of, peer network and peer support systems in the rural areas. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepti. That was really amazing. By the way, congratulations for the amazing work you're doing. Well, coming back to Kalpana, I would request you to share how does peer networks work in artisan groups which you work with? Is it there? If it's there, how is it? Does it?
Sure, thank you. So, like how Sita just mentioned, that SHG groups are the ones which primarily work in that sector. And through the government, there is a lot of support in that area. And so each of these clusters, whether it is any kind of handloom or handicraft, so there's a lot of things happening. And now the GI tagging is also supporting them in a big way. And yes, where we come in, associations like ours, is that there will be some gaps, which again, we go there and we are trying to fill the gaps. But yes, GI tagging helps because recently, if you saw in Paris, there was these Kolhapuri chappals, which were taken by a foreign brand, I won't name the brand. And suddenly, there was a lot of halla because everybody said, "Arey, ye to Kolhapuri chappal hai, ye to apne chappal hai." So then government quickly went in and drove into that area and said, we'll GI tag this. So GI tag basically means it's a geographical indication that this is where this was born, or this is where it started from, this particular product. It belongs to this particular region or this particular country. So I think those kind of efforts are being done on a war footing. Even now, as we speak, we are in talks with NABARD and others where we are trying to see what else we can do for these groups. But yes, there is a lot of work happening, and that is why, again, we come back to peer groups. How do you get to know about all these? How do you get to know about what is happening, and what kind of support you can give or you can get is always being part of some network groups. That's where the info flows in and it reaches you. You'll be part of a lot of WhatsApp groups, which is the simplest and the fastest way of operating. And that's making a whole lot of difference now. Thank you.
Thank you, Kalpana. Before we close, one advice to women entrepreneurs or women wannabe entrepreneurs from each of you, if I can have.
I was waiting for this.
Me too.
So all the startups, all the students who are planning a startup, please, industry collaboration is quite critical. Why? Because I have met a lot of startup entrepreneurs and founders come to us, develop a product, and try to make it market fit. Guys, first check the market fit. Collaborate with industry. Collaborate with industry and identify the gap. Do a gap analysis. How big is the problem? Somebody was in the earlier panel were also talking about how big is the problem. Go for big problems. But whether it's big or small problem, identify that your problem will actually fill the gap. So industry collaboration is quite crucial. And I follow the MAPS rule. M for being mindset, A for being the approach, P for being the passion that you bring, and S for being the strength that you add. So strength is where peer collaboration comes. So collaborate the strengths, bring a product that is fit for the market, and scale from there. Thank you.
I've said this on so many platforms and I say this regularly. When Sridevi had asked how many of you want to be entrepreneurs or have ideas, most of you put your hands up, right? So the first thing that you need to know is to ask for help. So you can have a bunch of friends. So Deepthi can be my friend, but she will never know what's on my mind unless I ask. So learn to ask for help the right way. Also, when you see really senior leaders or mentors and you want to go and approach them for mentorship, please don't go and say, this is my idea, what do you think I should do? Never do that, because that immediately dilutes your ask. You identify your top 3 points and say, this is what I need to move from point A to point B. And I've tailor-made my answer to all the students that are here, because I see the hall is filled with them. And we often get requests, and I see my peers get requests where they say that. So learn to ask for help, learn how to ask for help. Half of your problem is solved. And if you ask, you shall receive. If you don't ask, you will be in your quiet corner, struggling away, thinking you can do everything and solve everything by yourself. Thank you.
Okay, now, now you all have heard about all the correct things to do. You need to go to the market, you need to have everything done. But like I shared earlier, I started my entrepreneurial journey when I was 19. More or less, आप लोग सभी उसी उम्र के होंगे या आगे पीछे होंगे अभी. तो after so many years, what I am proud of, and I feel that that is something that I want to tell everyone here, is that, you know, a lot of ideas will come and you will talk to many people and say, मुझे कुछ करना है, मैं क्या करूँ? Somebody will give you this idea and that idea and so many things, and you'll have a whole book filled with ideas. But what I would, from my experience, say that, you know, the idea that you totally resonate with, you know, for me it was art, for it was creativity. Now, after that, yes, you can make it into a business, you can find out what's the market needs from it, and so on and so forth. You know, do all the right things, get the peers and everything. But sabse pehle, you know, 25 years or more I have been doing what I do. And there's not a single day, and I swear, there's not a single day that I got up in the morning and said, oh, shoot, I have to go to work, or I need to go back to my business. Aise kabhi hua hi nahi. I'm always looking and excited ki, how soon can I get to work? Whatever be the issues and the problems, that we will solve later, you know. But the thing is, mera pura dil usme hai, you know, mera pura zehen usme hai. So please, take your time, but make sure that you choose something that you totally resonate with and you want to do it. Yes, you can make the changes as you go along over the years. You know, you can add and delete and go with the whatever is trending. But so, because having been to B schools, and I was told that if you're not making enough money, chuck the business, you know. But I fought and I said, no, I'm not chucking the business. I'm going to find out what's missing and put it there. I'm not chucking the business. This is my baby and I'm not chucking it. So I think that is what I want to leave you all with, that I can see a lot of youngsters, so please keep that in mind, and that's what worked for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I personally am learning a lot from all the 3 beautiful ladies on this stage. We are open for questions, but I would request people to ask the question, not give us a big briefing about themselves. Any questions? We can take 2. I can see somebody here. Can someone hand over a mic, please, to this dynamic girl here?
Yeah. Right, yeah. Yes, I'll come back to you once she's done. So we have 2 questions coming your way.
Yes, yes.
All yours, please.
Yeah, hi, thank you for your question. I just heard what was your struggle. I didn't hear the rest of it. Is it only, you just want to know what, as a teenager?
No, I'm not saying I'm facing any struggle. I'm saying what's one struggle
No, I know.
You're
asking
avoid.
me. Yeah, I got it. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your question. Yes,
I'm kind of shivering. This is my first time asking a question.
Yes, good question. So, yes, of course, when I said that I don't want to, now this is going to be a little radical, I said that I don't want to go to the regular college every day thing. I want to do college, I will study, but I want to do what I want to do. So it was like I enrolled myself into courses, and I went and interned with people from whom I thought I should learn, and I will get to learn a lot. And on the side, yes, I completed whatever education everybody wanted me to do, and it was helpful too. But yeah, I didn't use, so the resistance, yes, a lot of resistance. Everybody thought I'd, really lost it. And, but yes, my parents were amazing, and they just let me do what I wanted to, though they didn't understand what I was doing, but they did. But yes, to the society, to everyone, I say, like my own teachers used to ask me, when everyone is going in that direction, Kalpana, why you want to go in the opposite direction, So I said, because that's what I know what to do. So I think, yeah. But like I said, if it really resonates with you and you're passionate about it, you'll find a way.
Thank you, Kalpana. There's one more question. This will be the last. Please
Sure.
keep it brief.
Right. A quick question, huh?
Hi, Deepti ma'am. Hi. Yeah. Hi, Deepti ma'am.
Hi.
Yeah. Your field of work is one of my points of interest. So I just wanted to know, what was your educational journey? Like, you were a biomedical engineer, right? So how did you figure out where to study, or how you wanted to choose your path?
Okay. Thank you for asking that question. I'll give you some dare answers today. I was a biomedical engineer, but didn't want to be a biomedical engineer. So I haven't done anything in engineering after doing biomedical engineering, right? I always had my instinct in, building something, or had my instinct into managing hospitals, running hospitals. So in my final year of biomedical engineering, I studied in B.V. Raju Institute of Technology. And in my final year, just last week, B.V. Raju Institute of Technology Chief Alumni Officer came and met me at Ozone, and he said, how did you even do this jump from biomedical to management? So in the final year, I had a subject called hospital management. To my luck, came to me, because I didn't know what to do after. So I studied hospital management really well. We had our internship at Medwin Hospitals then, I went completely into management. I skipped all my OT rounds. I skipped everything that dealt with engineering, and I only went and sat with administrators. So that's what I did. That's how passionate, I don't know, I think I was passionate since then, because I wanted to sit with them and understand what is P&L, what is hospital, how do patients get satisfied, what are the indicators, what are the parameters. So these were all my very, very early instincts about getting into hospital management, and then you can never lose the thread. Biomedical engineering is there. So I started medical technology. I wanted to make, again, through medical technology, healthcare services acceptable, affordable, and accessible to people. So that's where I started building medical technology with our own biomedical engineers from B.V. Raju. So that's how they have been with me, working with me, and building amazing technologies like tele-ECG. Everything happens at the point of care today for the patients. I'll talk off stage more about it. Thank you for the question.
Well, what a panel. Thank you so much, ladies. It was an honor and a pleasure to be part of this panel, and I'm sure the audience had good takeaways, especially hope you guys have been inspired. Thank you so much for being a great audience.